Hello there. Today you're working on an answer, find, and shade worksheet that's reviewing decimals and place value. But really quick, before we begin, we need to make a quick announcement. I'll be right back.
Welcome to our video today. Before we start, I just wanted to say we are an international company, and some countries use the comma and others use the point as a decimal mark. But most English-speaking countries use the decimal point, so I'll use the point. I'm sorry, and I hope this is not too confusing for other learners around the world. If you are from a country that uses a comma as a decimal mark, when you hear me say decimal point, just think decimal mark, or change it to a comma. Everyone else, it's a decimal point. Let's get started.
Hello there. Today you're working on an answer, find, and shade worksheet that's reviewing decimals and place value. So this is actually just a review worksheet. So basically you should already know this. But in case you don't, or you're struggling, or maybe you forgot, I'm here to help. And the directions for the shading actually say, answer all the questions before shading the picture. So we first answer all the questions, and then we shade in the picture. All right. So since this is a place value worksheet, I think it's a good idea to have a place value chart. Now, if you don't have one, you can probably find one in your book, on the internet, or you can make one yourself. I actually have one up here that I'm going to use, and I'm just going to bring it down right over the picture because we don't need the picture till the end, because it says don't shade in until after you answer all the questions. So here it is right here. I'm just going to place it right here. Now, I like this place value chart because it separates everything into groups. Do you see how it says right here decimals? So everything to the right of the decimal are decimals. And you can see you have tenths, hundreds, thousands, 10,000. And if you notice, all the decimal ones end in a THS, 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 THS. So all the decimals end in a THS, tenths, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. Now, to the left of the decimal, we have our whole numbers, which is ones, tens, hundreds. And you notice again, ones, tens, hundreds. Again, ones, tens, hundreds. You might be thinking, wait a second, 1 tens, hundreds, 1 tens, hundreds, 1 tens, hundreds. How do you figure out what's what? Well, check it out. Up here on the top, you actually have them separated into groups. This is the ones group. This is the thousands group. And this is the millions group. So basically, this is just ones right here. Then you got tens and hundreds. But the next group is 1,000s, then 10,000s, then 100,000s. Then you got 1 millions, 10 millions, and 100 millions. Do you see how it goes 1, tens, hundreds, ones, tens, hundreds, ones, tens, hundreds, ones, tens, hundreds, ones, tens, hundreds? I think you got the idea. But then everything is in a group. And then you go ones, then you got thousands, then you got millions. If you wanted to go farther, you would have billions. And again, it would have its own 1, tens, hundreds. But I don't think we need billions for this worksheet. Now, let's look at the problems. The directions for problems 1 through 3 say, what place value is the 3 in? So we find the 3, which is right there, and we write the place value. Well, let's take this number and put it into our place value chart to help us better see it. So if we come over here, we have our decimal right there. And if you look at the number, you have a 4 to the right of the decimal and a 6 to the left of the decimal. So basically, you take the 4 and put it here. You take the 6 and put it here. Then you can put the other numbers in. 3 goes here, 1 goes here, and 5 goes here. So if you look at it, the 3 is in the hundreds place, right there. So we would circle hundreds. So the answer is A. Now, this is what I want you to do. I want you to try problems 2 and 3 on your own. Problem 2 might be a little tricky because the way it's worded, but I think you'll figure it out. So try problems 2 and 3. Press pause really quick. When you're finished, press play, and I'll give you the answer. Welcome back. And we're looking at problem 2. In problem 2, we have 3156.09. And we're supposed to put this number over in the place value chart so we can see what place value the 3 is in. So again, I find the decimal, which is right here, and I'll put the numbers into the right and the left. I have a 0 to the right, so I put a 0 here. I have a 6 to the left, so I put a 6 here. Well, now the 9 goes here, the 5 goes here, the 1 goes here, and the 3 goes here. So 3 is in the 1000s. And you might be looking at the answer and saying, wait a second, I couldn't find 1000s. Well, the shortcut to that is we normally just say thousands. So it's actually answer H. And answer H is telling us 3 is in the thousands place value. On problem 3, you have 20.394. So again, I'll put the 3 into the right and the 0 into the left of the decimal. So I have a 0 here, a 3 here, a 9 here, and a 4. And I have a 2 right here. And then we just find where the 3 is, which is in the tenths. So our answer is tenths, which would be letter L. And there you go. I'm going to continue using this place value chart. So let me clean this up a little bit. Let me erase these. Let me take this, let me drag it down here a bit, because we're doing problems 4 and 5 and 6. So here's problem 4. In problem 4, the directions say, what number do you make? Let's put this in our place value chart. So in problem 4, it says right here, put 4 in the hundreds place. So we find the hundreds place, which is right here. We put a 4. The next one says put 2 in the tens place. So we put 2 in the tens place. The next one says put 9 in the ones place. So we put 9. The next one says put 8 in the tens place. 8 in the tens place. So we put 8 in the tens place. And the last one says put 7 in the hundreds place. So we put 7 in the hundreds place. So we get 429 and 87 hundredths, which would be letter P. By the way, do you notice how I say and where the decimal is? That's telling us there's a decimal there. And it's like saying I have 2 pies, whole pies, and 3 pieces. And means you don't have a whole. So usually when you hear the word and when you're reading off a number, it means you don't have a whole. It means you have decimals. Let me clean that up. Why don't you give problems 5 and 6 a try? Press pause. When you're done, come back and we can check your answers. Welcome back. You're working on problem 5. And 5 says put 1 in the tenths place. So we're looking for the tenths place, which is right here. So we put a 1 there. The next one says put an 8 in the ones place. So we put an 8 right here in the ones place. The next one says put a 3 in the tens place. So we put a 3 in the tens place. The next one says put 9 in the hundredths place. And you see the THS? That tells us it's a decimal. So it's not this hundreds right here. No, no, no. It's this hundreds over here. So we put a 9 there, and there's our number, 38 and 19 hundredths. So we find 38 and 19 hundredths, which would be T. Problem number 6. Let me erase this really quick. Problem 6 says put 2 in the thousands place. So we find the thousands place. And again, even though it says 1000s, it's still the thousands place. This ones just helps us use the pattern 1, tens, hundreds. So I'll put it in the thousands place. Then we have 8 in the hundredths place. That means it's a decimal. So we find the hundredths place, which is right here. We put in 8. Then it says put 5 in the hundreds place. So now we got a whole number, hundreds. See how it ends in an S, not a THS? So we put a 5 right there. We have 9 in the tens place. So we put a 9 right here. We have 4 in the tenths place, so that's another decimal. So we put it right here, 4, and we have 3 in the ones place. So 3 goes right here. So we have 2,593 and 48 hundredths, which would be answer Y. So we put Y, circle Y. So let's come up here really quick, and we're going to answer 7 through 12. Match each problem with the standard form in the box below. Well, standard form means the written form, the numbered form. So we're reading these. For instance, number 7, going to say 653 and 7/10. So we have 653 and 7/10. So we're looking for 653.7, which would be letter, not L because there's a 0 there. It would be letter GG. So GG would be our answer for problem 7. Why don't you try problems 8 through 12 on your own? Press pause. When you're finished, come back and we'll check your answers. Okay, welcome back. I'm looking at problem 8. 8 says you have 300, so I put 3 there. I have 5 tens, so I put 5 tens. I have 2 ones. I have 8 tenths and 6 hundredths. And we just find this number, 352.86, which would be letter 352.86. 352.86 would be AA. So our answer is AA. Problem 9 is in expanded form. So why don't we do this? I have 800. I have 0.05, so put a 0.5 there. You can put a 0 here too if you like. I have 7. I have 0.2. I have 3,000. That'd be 3000. And I have 40. And if you put all this together, you'll get 5 here. So you get 5. You get 2. There's a decimal. You get 7. You get 4. You get 8 and 3. You see how I did that? I just wrote it straight down and put all the numbers back together. 3847.25. 3847.25, which would be JJ. So JJ is our answer right there. 3847.25. So this would be JJ. All right. Number 10. Let me erase this so we have some space to work. There we go. Number 10 says we have 426. So we have 426. And, see the and? That means we have a decimal. And 800. So we have only 800s right there. So what do you think you put in that tenths place? Yep, you guessed it, a 0. So we have 426.08. We find 426.08, 426.08, which would be II. So this is II. And we move to problem 11. Problem 11 is like problem 9. So let's give this a try. I might need a little more room, so I might have to fit this in a little tighter this time. Problem 11 says we have 0.3. So 0.3 there. We have 100. I'm just going to write it right in the same box just to fit it in. We have 100. We have 0.09. We have 60. I'm going to write it right there, 60. We have 2,000, so I'm going to write 2,000 right here. See that? And we have 5. Now I just bring it all down. We have 9, 3, 5. We have 6, 1, 2. That gives us 2,165 and 39 hundredths. So we're looking for 2165.39, 2165.39, which would be DD, 2165.39. So we put DD there, DD, and we're on number 12. Let me erase this really quick to give us some space. Problem 12 says, let me move this down a little. So we can fit this in. Let's bring this down a little. Problem 12 says you have 2 hundreds. So I'm going to put 2 in the hundreds place right there. It says we have 6 ones. We have 8 hundredths. We have 3 tens. And we have 5 tenths. See how it ends in a THS? So we put it right here, THS, 5 tenths. So we have 236 and 58 hundredths, and 236.58 would be right there. So it'd be FF. So we put FF in for our answer, FF. There's problems 7 through 12. Almost finished. So we have problems 13 through 16, and the question says, which digit is in the thousands place? So this is similar to problems 1 through 3. So I think you could give this a try on your own before I help you. Why don't you try problems 13 through 16 on your own? Press pause and come back to me when you're done, and we'll check your answers. All right, see you in a bit. Okay, welcome back. I made my place value chart a little smaller so we can actually see it with the problems. And we're working on problems 13 through 16. It's asking us which digit is in each place value. So problem 13 says which digit is in the thousands place. So all we do is take this number, 3195.246, and we fill it in our place value chart. And all I do is find the decimal, and I say, oh, the 2 is to the right. We got a 4, we got a 6. To the left, we got a 5, we got a 9, we got a 1, and we got a 3. And the question's asking what's in the thousands place. Well, the thousands place is the 3. So we put 3. The next question is asking which digit is in the hundredths place. So again, I find the decimal right there. I say I have 981, and I have 864. And it says the hundredths place. So I find the hundredths, which would be 8. So this would be 8. The next one says which digit is in the hundreds place. So again, I find my decimal right there. 397, because my decimal is right there. I have 6154. It says which digit is in the hundreds place. So I just find hundreds, which is right here, which would be 5. Let me erase this first one so we can have some place to put the last one. The last one says which digit is in the tens place. By now, some of you might have figured this out without even using the place value chart, which is perfectly fine. That is great. But if not, let's just put this number in the place value chart. Here's my decimal. So we put 214 to the right. I put 796 to the left, and it says to the tenths place. So we have tenths, which is right here, which would be 2. So I put 2 for my answer. Again, if you get this and you don't need a place value chart, that is perfect. That's exactly how you should be doing it. But if you still need it, there's nothing wrong with using one. Okay, let's finish this up. Problem 17 through 18, it says match each mixed number to its equivalent decimal. Equivalent means equal. So we're trying to find a mixed number. A mixed number is a fraction and a whole number combined. See, here's your whole number. Here's your fraction. Here's your whole number. Here's your fraction. So it's called a mixed number. And we're trying to match it with its equivalent or its equal or the same decimal. So we have 8 and 5 over 10, or 8 and 5 tenths for problem 17. Well, 8, this one has an 8, this one has an 8. Wait a second, this one has an 85, so we definitely know it's not that one. So it's either B or C. Now, it says 5 over 10. Well, what do you think that means? That means 5 tenths. 5 tenths. And if you come back up here and look at your place value chart, right here is your tenths, which is one digit or one space next to the decimal right here. So we're looking for a 5 right next to the decimal. Well, this one is 2 over because there's a 0 there, so it has to be C. Number 18 says we're looking for 5 and 72 over 100. Well, let's see. They all have 5. See, 5, 5, 5. All right. And this one says 72 over 100. This is the same thing as 72 hundredths. Hundredths. So we have a THS, so that's telling us it's a decimal. So if you come up to your place value chart right here, I told you we have 72 hundredths, so this would be 72 hundredths. And you had a 5 there, 5.72. And here's 5.72, which would be letter E. By the way, if you look at problem F and G, you probably guessed they weren't the right answer because actually 5.0720 is the same thing as 5.072. You can actually put a 0 here, it would be the same. So these can't be the answer because if this one was the answer, this one would be the answer, and that doesn't make sense. So now, what you do is you find all your answers in the picture and you shade them in. Well, have fun. Hope I helped. See you next time.